Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to be talking about calculations with standard form. Now these are really popular exam questions, so you might be asked to add, subtract, multiply or divide using numbers in standard form without using a calculator. Now multiplying and dividing with standard form isn't too bad, it's actually relatively easy. The main thing you want to focus on is dealing with the times 10 to the n portions first, using the rules of indices, but I'll show you exactly what I mean in an example. So if you were told to find 2 times 10 to the 4 times by 5.62 times 10 to the 5. Because these are all multiplications, you can actually multiply any of these numbers in any order and you would still get the same answer. So what you'd first want to do is rewrite this expression, grouping the 10 to the power n's first. This can leave you with 10 to the 4 times by 10 to the 5, all times by 2 times by 5.62. Using the laws of indices, finding 10 to the power 4 times by 10 to the power 5 will give you 10 to the power 9. Because these values are the same, all you need to do is just add these indices together because it's a multiplication question. 4 plus 5 equals 9. Therefore, this new indice is going to be 9. Now we're going to look at this aspect of the calculation, 2 times 5.62. Well, that's pretty simple. 2 times 5.62 is going to be 11.24. Now we're not quite done here. This looks similar to standard form, but it's not quite, because if you look here, this isn't a valid number for a, because the value 11.24 is greater than 10. So what we'd need to do is move this decimal point over one space to the left. In doing so, we'd have to increase this value here by 1. So the final answer in standard form is going to be 1.124 times by 10 to the 10. So that's multiplication. Let's look at division. If we were told to calculate 240,000 divided by 4.8 times by 10 to the 10, what we do first is convert this 240,000 into standard form. Now we need to move the decimal place over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces for a to be valid. So 240,000 in standard form is going to be 2.4 times by 10 to the 5. So now we need to divide it by 4.8 times 10 to the 10. First thing we want to look at here are the times 10 to the power of n. Following the laws of indices, if we have 10 to the power 5 divided by 10 to the power 10, what we need to do to find the unified indice is to just do 5 minus 10, which would give us minus 5. And for here, we just do 2.4 divided by 4.8, which would give us 0.5. This leaves us with 0.5 times by 10 to the minus 5. Again, this isn't quite in standard form because 0.5 is smaller than 1. Therefore, it's not a valid number for a. So what we need to do is move this decimal point over one space to the right. When we do that, we also need to decrease this number by 1, which would leave us with minus 6 as the indice. So our final answer in standard form is going to be 5 times 10 to the minus 6. So now let's look at some slightly trickier applications of standard form. Addition and subtracting. First thing you want to try and do is make sure that the powers of 10 are the same. So if you were told to calculate 9.8 times 10 to the 4 plus 6.6 times 10 to the 3. First thing you want to do is make sure that these powers of 10 are the same. So the logical thing would be to either change the 10 to the power 4 to 10 to the power 3, or the 10 to the power of 3 to the 10 to the power of 4. for this example, I'm just going to change the 10 to the power 3 to 10 to the power 4. In order to keep this portion of the expression the same, if I increase this value by a factor of 10, I have to decrease this value by a factor of 10. So rewriting this expression will leave me with 9.8 times by 10 to the 4 plus 0.66 times by 10 to the 4. That makes things easier because now we can factorize and rewrite the expression like so. 10 to the 4 times by 9.8 plus 0.66, because both of these values are times by 10 to the 4. 9.8 plus 0.66 equals 10.46. Now 10.46 is greater than 10, so it's not a valid form of A. Therefore, we need to move this decimal point over one place to the left to make A valid. In doing so, the indices for this 10 here need to increase by 1 to become 5. So your final answer in standard form is going to be 1.046 times by 10 to the 5. So there you go. Here's some example questions for you to try. If you found this video helpful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel so that way you can be updated when I upload a new video. Bye guys.